Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be recommending Kamala Harris 11 handbags. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. Whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on high quality, under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. Kamala Harris is currently the Vice President of the United States of America, and in tandem, she's running for office of President. Historically, past American presidents have been male and typically white male. And so if she's successful, she'll not only become the first female, but the first female of color president of the biggest and most powerful economy in the world. So I can imagine she's under immense pressure at the moment. And what I've noticed during the course of her vice presidency is that she comes across her dress style as fairly masculine. And I get it, because I think it's partly because she is fairly masculine. She's more of a tomboy in her own personal style. She's somebody who's more inclined to wear trousers over skirts or dresses. I've only ever seen her wearing a dress once or twice. One of the times she was in a beautiful floor-length black sequined gown. But instead, she's a lot more masculine in her dress style because she's helping to run the biggest, most powerful economy in the world. She is typically interacting with men, powerful men. And I guess in order to be taken seriously and to exert authority, I think that's why she comes across as fairly masculine. And not only the trouser suits, but also the colors. They're masculine colors. She wears fairly dominant, bold colors. And then recently, I noticed Vogue magazine featured her front cover, and they did a spread in the magazine as well. And what immediately stood out and I really liked about the shoot was the fact that they really softened her look. She looked feminine, she looked pretty, she looked like a lady, she was elegant. And I liked the fact that they had her in suits that were also feminine colors. There was a pink suit, I remember seeing another picture with a chocolate brown suit. And then on top of that, they put her in pearls. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is absolutely beautiful. This is wonderful. And it reminded me of Margaret Thatcher, who ran the United Kingdom, another powerful economy, the 80s and 90s. Instead, she actually wore fairly well put together, really sharp skirt suits, dresses. She looked a lot more feminine. And on more occasions than not, you'd see Margaret Thatcher carrying a handbag. And that really added to her overall look, that although she was known for her tough exterior, the handbag brought out the feminine element. It reminded you she's a woman. She's going to bring something different to the equation, and something that's different, but different that's good. We also have Angela Merkel recently, the ex-chancellor of Germany. She was always fairly masculine in terms of her style, running one of the biggest, most powerful European economies. I also think it was a mixture of her personality and also just asserting herself amongst other men and being like them, so she can also stamp her authority and command attention and respect as well. And so when it comes to Kamala Harris, after seeing the Vogue shoot, I thought to myself, we are constantly as women fighting for a seat at the table. We want to be in positions of authority as leading companies, leading countries, for example. But I actually think it adds to let a little of your femininity, your female charm come through. A handbag just completes the outfit. And there will be occasions where I don't think a handbag is appropriate. But I actually think a very well-considered handbag would actually add to the equation, would actually draw to the fact that it's a woman. A woman is different. She's bringing something different to the equation. And it's a different that's good and a different that should be heard. So this video is meant to be fun, but there's also an element of seriousness that I really did consider a very well thought out selection of handbags that would enhance, that would complement a woman who is running the biggest and most powerful economy in the world, and providing an accessory that would complete and positively add to the overall look. With all of the bags that I've chosen, I've been incredibly mindful of the fact that they are for a presidential candidate, somebody who is visible, who typically has the spotlight on them. So I've ensured that it's brands that don't have any issues, they aren't involved in any scandals. I wouldn't want Kamala Harris to carry a bag from a brand mired in scandal, and then that takes attention away from the outfit or from the bag, and viewers start talking about the negativity associated with the brand. I've also gone for styles that are non-fussy, they're not overly elaborate. My focus really is on high quality, under the radar. A couple are head turners, they're more statement bags, but they're appropriate for what I'm recommending. The first two bags I'm recommending are from Italian brand Bianchi & Nardi, a brand that I've spoken about. And Bianchi & Nardi is literally a gift that keeps giving. They are behind bags from brands that are focused on high quality, under the radar, that many people don't really know or talk about. But one of the brands they make bags for is Ferragamo, and Ferragamo is having its moment with the hug. They're also behind Lanvin, for example, RalphLauren. I'm going to be recommending one of their bags in this video as well, and also Skipperetti, just to name a few brands. Their forte as a brand is on exotic leather bags, and it's a wonderful brand. I'd be more inclined to recommend ahead of Quan Pen, particularly if your budget is under £10,000, for example. They are the brand that used to produce Chanel's exotic leather bags when Chanel still used to retail exotic leather bags. What I'm recommending from Bianchi & Nardi is two styles, the Valeria and the Antonia. Antonia is a top handle bag, may actually be one of my favorite bags from Bianchi & Nardi. I like the fact that it's a top handle bag that's incredibly versatile. It comes with an additional strap. Both bags come with an additional strap, and it's a thick strap. I like thick straps, especially for big bags, and I'm recommending the biggest size for both styles. And especially when you have a lot of stuff in the bag, it's fairly heavy. And then sometimes brands have straps that are too thin and they dig into you the heavier the bag is. Whereas with the thicker strap, it beautifully distributes the weight of the bag across your shoulder, more of your shoulder. And you can carry the bag over the shoulder, crossbody, but I would recommend always carrying it as a top handle, either using the handle or in the crook of your arm or slouched under. And in particular, the exotic leather, the crocodile, that really shows off the beauty of this design. It's a simple design, but the leather just takes it to the next level. Of course, for the presidential candidate, I'm not recommending any exotic leather bags. It's all calf leather or Napa leather, for example. But the Antonia, justice is done to the design when it's made in crocodile leather. The bag is a top handle, as I mentioned. You have the option to use an additional strap. Open the bag, it's just one big cavernous compartment, leather lined. All of Bianchi & Nardi bags are leather lined on the inside. And then on one side of the bag, you have a full zipped pocket, the full length of the bag. And then the second bag I'm going to be recommending is the Valeria. Another handbag, two-handled handbag, has an additional strap, a thick strap so you can carry the bag over the shoulder, crossbody. This would be the bag I'd be more inclined to recommend to carry documents, for example, laptop, going to meetings, something that's just simple, non-fussy, it's well made, it does a good job, and it's going to last. It's a bag that Kamala Harris can use for the entire time she's president, whether it's 1 term, 2 terms, and even when she's done in her own personal life. The bag comes with the two handles, it has a zip on top, and I like the fact that the zip goes all the way to the end and it actually passes the body of the bag. So you don't have any issues if you need to put items in or take items out of the bag. You get full access to the bag. The zip doesn't stop at an awkward point where it makes entry in and out of the bag awkward. And then the bag is one big cavernous compartment, leather lined, one side a full zipped compartment, and then on the other side a pocket that's just open. So it's a fairly good bag, especially when it comes to business usage. You can use the pocket on the one side, easy access, it doesn't have a zip, a slightly more secure pocket on the other side, and then of course the one big cavernous compartment in the middle. And then on the underside of the bag you have 2 leather strips, just to elegantly raise the profile of the bag and to help minimize scuffing on the underside of the bag. The third recommendation is from another Italian brand that I've spoken about, SerapianMilano, and in particular their front-running style, the Secret Tote. It's part of the Secret Collection. Within Secret Collection you have a clutch and you also have a tote, and you have both bags in the Mosaico, but the totes come in the plain leather option as well, and I'm actually going with the Mosaico. The Mosaico is beautiful. It's arresting, it stands out, and it's the type of bag I would recommend for Kamala Harris if she's going somewhere for the weekend, she's traveling, she's taking documents, she's taking her laptop and so forth. It's a bag that doesn't take attention away, wearing it in her personal life, whereas if she turns up to an important meeting, people will notice it. It causes a bit of a fuss. The intrecciato stands out, and people will be inclined to start commenting and talking about the bag. This is perfect, going away for the weekend, and she wants to take files, laptop, documents, and so forth. The Secret Tote, specifically in the small size, there are 3 sizes. The middle size, the bigger size would be more of a weekend bag. The bag comes with 3 compartments. 2 outer compartments are equal sized, microfiber lining throughout the bag, and then the middle compartment is a zipped compartment, so that's where you can place items that need a little additional security. And then on the other side of the 2 equal compartments, just one side, there is a full-length zipped pocket as well. I like the fact that the straps on the Secret Tote are a fairly decent length, so you can carry the bag very comfortably in the crook of your arm, carried using the handles, and it can also very comfortably sit on your shoulders, or have both straps on your shoulder, and then you have your bag just under your arm. The next bag I'd like to recommend is from RalphLauren, and RalphLauren's bags are produced by Bianchi and Nadi, and in particular the Ricky, the soft Ricky 33. The bag comes in a number of leathers. You have nappa, you have calfskin, and the Ricky is a style that is just so under the radar, but it deserves a much higher profile. It's an absolutely beautiful bag. I like the aesthetic. I'm recommending it because of the quality, because of the look. I like the fact that it's a rugged style. It's not a refined, overly ladylike style, and I think that would work very well for Kamala Harris. The leather is absolutely exceptional. It's thick, it's soft, it's sumptuous. It's absolutely beautiful. It's rich, solid leather. Then on the inside, it's leather lined. On the one side, you also have a zipped pocket. But what I also like about the bag is the fact that it's versatile. You can bring the corners in and it becomes a cross between a square, rectangular shaped bag, a little more formal. Or you bring out the corners and then it has more of the trapezoid shape. And then the underside of the bag, you have strips underneath, leather strips, just to raise the profile of the bag and to help minimize scuffing. And the bag also comes with an additional strap, a thick strap, almost in keeping with Bianchi and Nadi, so that very comfortably sits on your shoulder, and especially when you have a lot in there, it beautifully distributes the weight across your shoulder. The next 2 recommendations are power bags, and I think they are a must, especially for possibly the future president of the United States, a lady. She needs a power bag. That's an arsenal, that's a must, especially for a woman who is in a high profile, incredibly visible role. The first I'd like to recommend is from Belgian brand Delvaux, and it's the Brion, and in the medium size, and I think in a grained calfskin. I have seen in the past natural calfskin Brion. It was absolutely exceptional. But they don't actually make the natural calfskin Brion anymore. That is what I would recommend in a heartbeat. It's going to age incredibly well. I've seen one that's going on to 7, possibly 8 years. It looks absolutely stunning. But the next best is the grained calfskin, vegetal tanned. It's going to develop the patina. It's going to age beautifully. And the fact that it's a grained calfskin, it won't scuff or mark easily at all. Although the natural, I think, would still work, because you just buff away any scuffs, any marks. And Kamala Harris is not going to be in a situation where she will typically always be carrying the bag. It's looked after, and the care and so forth would be absolutely fantastic. So she's not going to have issues if it's a natural calfskin, but it's the textured calfskin that I'm recommending in the medium size. The bag also comes with an additional strap, so you can carry the bag over the shoulder or as a crossbody, but that's something I wouldn't necessarily recommend for Kamala Harris. It would be more with the handle. Bag is just one big cavernous compartment in the middle, and then on the one side you have a zipped pocket that runs the full length of the bag, and then a slip pocket on the front of the zip pocket of the bag. And then on the underside of the bag you have the legs, just to raise the profile of the bag and to help minimize on scuffing. And then the second power bag is the ultimate power bag from Joseph Duclos. It's the Diane L30, and in particular in tempo leather, which is a grained leather, and in the blue color, a color that would work incredibly well for Kamala Harris. It's a color that you see her wear a lot, and the blue color would also work with a lot of her current suits that she currently has as well. So it's the Diane L30, and in particular in tempo leather, which is a grained leather, and in the blue color, a color that would work incredibly well for Kamala Harris. It's a color that you see her wear a lot, and the blue color would also work with a lot of her current suits that she currently has as well. The Diane L30 is incredibly well made when it comes to the craftsmanship, the phenomenal quality of the leathers that have been used. Inside of the bag, 2 compartments. One side of the compartment, there's a slip pocket. And then on the underside of the bag, you have the leather strips just to raise the profile of the bag. And then of course you have the eye-catching clasp on the front. That's a real head turner, but the look of the bag, the design, the cut, the curves, and then the clasp on the front really makes the bag stand out and helps to just cement it as an ultimate power bag and just stamp its authority as a statement bag. The next 2 recommendations I'd like to make are for events, whether it's state banquets, galas, events where she has to dress up in typically a gown. The first is from American brand Judith Lieber. I've spoken about Judith Lieber before in my hierarchy of handbag series. I'm going to attach the video above. And why I'm recommending Judith Lieber is it's an American brand, but also they create really fun bags using crystals. And I think this would just help to make Kamala Harris human, playful, approachable. Getting a bag for an event that's maybe topical. If something's topical at the moment, maybe there's issues importing bananas from Mexico, and getting a banana, it becomes a bit of a talking point, or just something fun, something that gets conversation going, something that just makes Kamala look a little more human. And then the second occasion bag I'd like to recommend, actually 2 from French brand Moreau, the Anna and the Sophie. The Anna is the smaller bag, the Sophie is the longer bag. Both bags are fairly simple, beautifully made bags, leather on the outside, leather on the inside as well. And then top handle bags, and you have 2 different shape options depending on the event, what's being worn, the colors that are available. It's a new bag that you're going to start to see coming through from Moreau. In the next couple of months, I'd say early part of next year, you'll start to see the bags. I know the Sophie is in store at the moment, but the Anna, I think, will only really start becoming available from next year. And I think it's a lovely bag for an occasion, top handle, evening bag. And it's a bag that I only discovered after I had released the video entitled Bags Fit for a Princess. Bags I was recommending for Catherine, Princess of Wales. And I think the Sophie in the red would be a fantastic addition to her selection of bags as well. The next recommendation I'd like to make is from French brand Atelier Renard, a brand I've spoken about before. And what I would like to recommend is a bag called Le Cindy. Atelier Renard is a brand that's focused on custom bags. Custom bags are typically on the pricier side. We're talking prices of possibly £5,000 and above, depending on the type of leather you're using, whether it's calf or exotic leather, and going up to tens of thousands. And with custom brands, the focus is on an absolutely outstanding bag in terms of the craftsmanship, the quality of the leathers they've used, the details, and incredibly high quality of finish. And with Atelier Renard, I really like this brand because they are an approachable, custom-focused brand. Their prices are not crazy. They're literally more on the entry level side. They are still expensive. Le Cindy, for example, comes in 2 sizes. Starting price is 2,700 euros. I am recommending the smaller of the 2 sizes, the 35 centimeter length. There's a 42 centimeter length bag that I think is just too long. Whereas at 35 centimeters, it's 12 centimeters in width, 25 centimeters in height. And I think it's fantastic because it's a feminine briefcase. Essentially, the body of the bag is a briefcase shape, but with rounded corners, so giving it the feminine twist. And then I like the fact that it has the longer handle, so you can carry the bag either in the crook of your arm, carry the straps, or placed very comfortably over the shoulder. What I also like with Le Cindy is it has 2 slip pockets on either side of the handles. Custom brand, so you can do whatever you'd like on the inside. It's one big cavernous compartment, typically comes with a zip pocket on one side, but you could have another pocket on the other side of the bag, or you could just have one big open cavernous compartment. That is the beauty of custom focus bags, that you can customize absolutely everything about the bag you are purchasing. I particularly like Atelier Renard. It's a brand I would like to buy a bag for myself or 2. I'm currently eyeing La Matin Voyage. It's a travel bag, absolutely beautiful, specifically in the khaki color with the light colored lining on the inside. The bag is featured in the video I'm going to attach above, and that is what I have my eye on. But I've also considered Le Cindy and would also recommend it to Kamala Harris because I think it would work with her lifestyle. A briefcase to carry documents. I look at it as a bag for myself, going to meetings, and I don't necessarily want to put my laptop or any books or anything in a handbag, but I actually have a dedicated briefcase for my documents for the meeting. And I just like the fact that I can customize everything. I like the rounded corners. I like the longer straps. It's a feminine briefcase, and I think it would work incredibly well for Kamala Harris as well. Beautifully made. Atelier Renard are coupling fantastic craftsmanship with exceptional leathers. They have access to leathers from some of the best tanneries in the world. The French have some of the best tanneries in the world. So they are working with some of the best tanneries. So you're coupling the exceptional quality of the leathers, the craftsmanship, and then a very high level of detail and finish to the bag. So it's a beautiful briefcase that Kamala Harris will be able to use very comfortably if she's successful first term, if she's successful with the second term, and even after she has left office. It's a beautiful bag that'll stand the test of time and it'll age beautifully. Coming in the calf skin, it's going to darken, it's going to soften, and it's going to develop an exquisite patina. My final recommendation is from French brand L'Étrange. And L'Étrange is a brand I was recently asked about, and I was in Paris and I went to take a look at L'Étrange. I went to their showroom. They have 3 showrooms in the world, one in Doha in Qatar, the second Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, and then the third, the flagship, is in Paris on Rue Saint-Honoré. And thank you to my commenter who asked for my thoughts on L'Étrange. It's a superb brand, a brand you'll hear me talk about going forward because it's a fantastic addition to the high quality under the radar zone. It's a super premium brand, so their bags are typically priced between 3,000 to 5,000 euros, a little below, a little above, but the quality is absolutely fantastic. The craftsmanship is exceptional. It's game-changing. And what I really like about L'Étrange is a number of things. Firstly, it's a French brand. It was started in 1838. It's a family-run business, and it's in the 7th generation, being run by Sébastien L'Étrange. It was one of the first brands to create handbags, and it's a completely French brand. Every single bag is produced in France, with the exception of one bag, which is entirely made in Paris. And the DNA of the brand is innovation. They're constantly innovating, pushing the boundaries, creating new, unique, game-changing designs, introducing craft that other brands are not using or going anywhere near. One of the things I would like my viewers to appreciate is that with the aspirational brands, their hands are tied. They have to produce a certain number of bags, so they typically produce their bags to a template, so they know If you produce a bag, it's cut in a certain manner, it's sewn a certain way, you can produce a certain number of bags in a week, in a month, in a year, and you can fulfill the orders, you can create a very high level of revenue for the brand. But with a brand like L'Étrange, their focus is not on high numbers, selling a lot of bags. Their focus is on innovation and introducing absolutely fantastic craftsmanship. It's a family-run business, and what they do incredibly well is they have combined some of the best leathers in the world. They access a good chunk of their leathers from Rémy Cariat, for example. Rémy Cariat supply Hermès with their Torillon for their Clemence and Togo Birkins. So they have access to the very best quality leathers. And then the craftsmanship is game-changing. The bag I'd like to recommend for Kamala Harris is the Attaché. The Attaché is a bag that comes in 2 sizes. And they don't use the length of the bag as the size or refer to it as small, medium, large. They refer to bags by the time of day that you can carry the bag. So the Attaché I'm recommending, there are 2 sizes, the 0705. So it's the bag you'd carry the whole day. It could be a weekend bag. It could be, it's a sizable bag, which is what they're trying to emphasize. It's a sizable bag, and it's a bag that can carry you through the whole day. The second size is called the 1030. It's more of a work bag, a smaller bag that you would use to go to work. So you carry it from 1030 onwards. Whereas the 0705, it can be a weekend bag for a night or 2, or it's a work bag where you put in laptop, files, documents, and so forth. It's a bag that has much bigger carrying capacity. The Attaché is what I'm recommending. It is expensive. It's over £6,000. So whether it's dollars or euros, it's going to be over $6,000 or euros. But you're getting absolutely outstanding craftsmanship coupled with phenomenal quality leathers. The craftsmanship with the Attaché, the way the bag is joined at the seams, you don't see any stitching. It's as if the leather is tucked in. But they have a secret stitch in the middle of the bag. They have sewn hundreds of bags to ensure that they perfect the craft and the bag doesn't unravel. So you have the really smart seams that look as if they're tucked in, but they have a secret stitch on the inside. Exceptional quality leathers. And then the details of the bag. On the inside, they have used cotton canvas fabric lining because leather has, when they were still creating the bag, it made the bag too heavy. So the cotton canvas is to just lighten the bag. The bag itself is light in weight. It's made from the Torillon leather. It's going to soften with time and develop a patina. And then the cotton canvas on the inside, you have on one side a zipped compartment. On the other side, you have an open compartment, a sleeve where you can just pop in documents. It's great as a work bag or as an overnight weekend bag, for example. And then it has the 2 handles. Also comes with an additional strap, a fairly thick strap, so it very comfortably sits over the shoulder or as a crossbody bag. And it's a bag, the brand tells me, it's made for men, but it's women who largely buy the bag. What you'll also find on all of the bags is all of the bags have the 3 dots, and that's a reference to the heritage of the bag. All of the bags, the focus is on heritage with a twist. They're reinventing their heritage. All of the bags have an element of the heritage incorporated. So all of the bags, instead of having any branding or a logo, they have the 3 dots. And that is the identifying feature when it comes to L'Étrange. Also on the attaché bag and the vis-a-vis, which I'll talk about in another video, they have the address tag, and that is a tag they patented as a brand in 1926. In the early days of the brand, so you'll see the luggage tag and then the 3 dots on the attaché, and you'll see the 3 dots in all of their bags. But I'm recommending the attaché to Kamala Harris because of the size, because of the look. It's an elegant, sharp bag, beautifully made, using fantastic quality leathers with game-changing craftsmanship that has gone into the bag. Beautifully made, an absolute heirloom quality bag. To my viewer who introduced me to L'Étrange, thank you. I look forward to talking about the brand in the future. So that's my selection of, I think, 11 bags for Kamala Harris. Do let me know in the comments what you think. Is there anything else you think I should have added, or one you think I should not have added into my list of recommendations?